use audio. Why? Oh, bloody hell. You just turn the VR off then, basically. I don't know, that's not going to work, is it? Or is it? Microsoft switch to microphone appears camera. No, this here. Microphone switch to headset, hopefully. Whoever's in the room, can you just tell me if the audio is working? Because I've had to swap and do stuff and I've got controllers and shit everywhere. So I'm not sure if you can hear this. So if you can hear me, just give me a yay in the chat. Yay or nay? Can you hear me? Hello? Is anybody out there? I am waiting for somebody to say yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? I bet you can't, because somebody would have answered by now. Anyone, tell me, can you hear me? No, one out of the room. Right, let me just do a quick check, see if the microphone is working. Audio settings. We can hear you. Banging. I don't have to do that. So the plan is, this evening, just going to have an impromptu chat like we normally do for about, what time is it? Probably about 45 minutes. I'm actually waiting on a Cranky Gamers listener who has been out today and got VR and 4-point. They're just setting up. They're going to have a bit of play on it. They're getting the kids to bed, and then we're going to do some co-op. And then I shall start a broadcast in that, so you guys can check out the co-op. So we're going to hopefully play some 4-point co-op. I have just made a proper clusterfuck mistake. I've just been playing 4-point, got to a really good part, paused it to have a minute and a drink, then decided this what I'm going to do now, talk on the headset for a bit and whatever, and then I've gone to plug this controller in, caught the eject button on the PlayStation, which has ejected my 4-point disc, which has cut the game off, and I've got a feeling that the fucking 40 minutes I've just played has gone. And if it has, I'll be annoyed because it was fucking hard as well. So I will be pissed. But it is, I can't stress enough as well, it's so draining. Like I've just come out of there for a bit, basically to see how Luke's doing on his setup. And I'm literally sweating, and I've like got a towel to wipe the headset down and wipe my head. It's totally draining. But it's still good. The game that is out in the store, I've just been having a look at it. I've just put it in my basket, actually. It looks like a bit of a cartoon shooter where it looks like hillbilly country where you're in a swamp, like a toxic swamp, but a cartoon. And you've got things like weird creatures jumping out of the water at you. Basically just like 4-pointers, they jump at you, but it's creatures, and you've got cool, fun weapons, and it looks a bit of good fun, and it's only 11 quid. So it's quite good. I think I might get that. Also, the game I was trying to think about that's going to get support is Brookhaven. So Brookhaven is going to get the blaster treatment. So I should probably repeat what I've just said in about 5 minutes ago when people start entering the room. You're not playing? No, I've just announced it when there was 2 people in the room, which is a bit fucking stupid. I should have waited. Plan is I'm going to talk for about 40-45 minutes as normal CG UK promptu stuff. I'm waiting on a Cranky Gamer listener who's been out today and bought a VR and Farpoint. He's going to have some playtime with it. He's getting his kids to bed, and then we're going to hopefully jump into some co-op, and we'll stream that if we can. So that is the plan. So you could be watching some Farpoint co-op in about 45 minutes or so. So that is the plan. So the controversy of my fish this morning caused a bit of controversy. Few people got the tits in a twist. I put a small video out. My fish did arrive in the post, and I've got to admit, and I'm going to describe what happened. I did the video. If you look at the video, the poor guy looked nearly fucking dead. And the simple reason was this, and I didn't find this out until about 5 hours later. Now, what I did, when I got it out, it was really lethargic, because what had happened did it come in a polystyrene case, like I explained, and in the bottom of the case was a heat pad. Now, when I undid it on the video, you saw me, and you saw me switch the video off pretty quickly, because what you're supposed to do with a new fish, wherever you get it from, not just the post, you're supposed to just stick it in the top of your tank for around half an hour to let it acclimatise to the different temperatures and then let the fish go. However, when you see on that video on Twitter, the poor guy was really fucking struggling. He just wasn't moving very much. And the quite simple reason, it was fucking cold. It's a tropical fish. Now, I immediately forego the acclimatisation. I basically opened the fish tank, cut the bag, dropped the poor guy in it, and I'm watching him now. He's just absolutely perfectly fine before anybody gets the tits in a twist. So, but then this is the weird thing, and I just think it's and Paramonos pointed something out this afternoon that I actually didn't know, and probably you guys probably had an idea. I mean, it's a bit common sensey, but I'll tell you about it in a minute. So I've gone into the kitchen. Now, bearing in mind, this fish was delivered at 8:45 this morning, as early as the post. You know my post is early. You've seen me complaining on Twitter. He's even got me out of bed before. So basically, I've just put the night light on, actually, and it's actually livened him up a bit. The night light is just is having a right good swim round. But anyway, so I goes in the kitchen at 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon, and the polystyrene box is still on the side of the counter because I've not thrown it away. And this little heat pad basically looked like about that big, like a hacky sack, if you guys know what a hacky sack is. It was like one of them, and when you picked it up, it was full of felt like sand. But anybody who knows these kind of things, they work by activation. You crush a few lumps in there, you give it a shake, and they get warm. Well, I picked it up, and as I picked it up, I noticed it was very lumpy, and I squashed it and give it a good shake, and I chucked it down in the box while I made a cup of coffee. So I made a cup of coffee, went to the fridge, got my milk, went into the kitchen, put my hand down onto the heat pad. It was fucking red hot. So that's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This heat pad is red hot. And what I think the guys at wherever they've sent it from, they've obviously not activated the heat pad properly. They've probably been packing it up, they've given it a bit of a shake, not activated half the stuff in it, and that's why it was cool inside. Because I can tell you now, if that heat pad was activated properly and sealed how it was sealed, I don't think there'd have been a problem. In fact, I'd have gone on the opposite scale and said it would be probably fucking pretty warm. So he's fine now, just a slight small error. But Para just pointed something out this afternoon. It is highly illegal to send fish through the post, which I'm guessing most people would common sense figure. But like I said to you when I was talking about it, it's everywhere. Jump on YouTube, jump on eBay, they are fucking everywhere online. It's like, in fact, I would say this, and I'm not trying to defend it, because it is a bit shit, I'm not going to lie. I'm not naive enough to say it's not. But the point is, you jump online, eBay, YouTube, there is fucking countless places actively, openly sending fish through the thing. The fish is it's absolutely in fantastic condition, and I posted a couple of pictures on Twitter. It's a beautiful fish. It really is gorgeous fish. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy. It's great. No problems at all. So it's doing okay. I'll tell you what I'm more pissed off about today, by the way. More pissed off than you'll ever fucking know. Bit of a story about my vinyl record player. If you haven't seen it, it's a cool bit of kit. Did the unboxing earlier this week. Go and check it out. It's really cool. I've gone back to the vinyl. I think we talked about it a couple of... I'm coming to fucking firmware in a minute, by the way. That's another story. At least we've got stuff to chat about. So, that vinyl record player I had, I noticed... I mean, it's, let me not beat about the bush. It's no fucking Technics... It's no Technics record player. It's a piece of cheap, shitty stuff that plays vinyl. So... Mate, like I said, it's rife online, like I said. I won't do it again. I'll never do it again. End of fish story, so don't worry. So, I noticed my plan with vinyl was to obviously get some old albums that I was into back in the day, and they're everywhere now. Vinyl's absolutely becoming as popular as CDs again. So I noticed when I plugged my headphones in the back, which is partly mainly how I'm going to listen, because obviously you know I've got decent headphones. So I put the cable in the back, and I've actually got an expensive 3.5, by the way. Oh, is that right? That's a good idea. So basically, when I put the audio cable in, there's a terrible humming in the headphones, like a real feedback. Clearly cheap piece of shit. So I thought, fuck it, because I'm a finicky person, and I know it's like that rattle in the car. You know, when you get a rattle in the car, you're never going to stop hearing it till you fix the fucking thing, and that's how it was. Because when I played vinyl, you can't hear the crackling or hissing because the music's louder than the fucking noise. But that's by the by. In between tracks, it's going, and it was pissing me off. So I had two choices. Send the fucker back, get another one. Or my daughter popped round the other day, and she popped round as it was being delivered, and she lost her mind. Because obviously she's 19, and I think she's picking up on the fact that vinyl's a very popular medium again. And she loved it. So I thought, well, do I send it back, or do I just fucking give it air? And I thought, bollocks to it, I'll give it air. So I messaged her yesterday. I says, that turntable... You can have it. I'm going to get another one. So again, I goes and buys another one yesterday for myself. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what, Aj? You're not the only person to say that. Somebody that's been a DJ. In fact, it's the guy we're going to play co-op Farpoint with later. He was a professional DJ. He told me that's the problem. I don't know how. It's not worth it. It's 30 fucking quid. My daughter's got it. I've ordered another one. But like a twat, I didn't stick with this one, and I'm like that. I'm an idiot sometimes. I mean, I really love that design. If you've not seen the unboxing, it's really different. It's lovely. It's it's a beautiful little design, albeit cheap. Serves a purpose. I don't want to chuck daft money at it. So, obviously I'm buying another one for myself, and I just sees another cheap one, but different. That came today, along with... I've ordered Elvis... Platinum 3 LP disc. I'm a massive Elvis fan, if you don't know. My mum brought me up on Elvis. She used to play it every Sunday when she was cooking dinner, and as a young kid, about 5 or 6, it just embedded into me for years, and I've always been an Elvis fan. So I saw this deal on Amazon yesterday, a 3-pack Elvis Platinum, all the hits on it, about 30 hits on it, white vinyl as well, beautiful little pack. So I got that at the same time. So they've both come today. So I unboxes it, I gets it out, I switches it on. Straight away, there's a fucking noise on the turntable. Like it's going really loudly. So again, I'm thinking, what the fuck? So I'm starting to get pissed again. So I gets my Elvis album out. Let's have a bit of a test, shall we? Gets the first Elvis album out, beautiful white vinyl, gorgeous thing, lovely open booklet, load of history, absolutely cracking bargain. So sticks it on the fucking record player. I shit you not, it's going like this. like this fucker. It's as warped as a banana, this album, and I was fucking really pissed. So not only is it going, and it's unplayable. Put the needle on the record, as they say, and it's fucking woo, woo. And I'm sat there thinking, well, for fuck's sake, I bought an album. One of the other two LPs are fine, play lovely. So I then fucking tries the other one and they play, but you know this noise. Every time it got round, it's obviously catching on something. I couldn't find where it was catching, couldn't see it. But every time it was catching, it was making the needle jump. So I'm sat there thinking, for fuck's sake, are you having a laugh? I mean, the unlucky shit I've had this week is crazy. So I'm thinking, you know what? Fuck it. I'm packing it up. It's on its way back. That's being returned tomorrow. Already packed and it's going back. So I've ordered another fucker. And no, I know what people are going to say. Oh, have you gone back to the original that you liked? Have a fuck. I've bought a different one. So I've got my third fucking record player arriving tomorrow. Fingers crossed. It's fine. I'm not sure if I'm retaining the Elvis album. Bang on. That you've won the biscuit of the evening. What a quote. Return to fucking sender. So just to test the album, actually, I got my Philips headphones out, the good ones, and I got I'd packed my daughter's one away that I'm giving, and I got it out just to test the album and test the headphones. Lovely, beautiful, gorgeous sound. I sat here tonight, I tweeted about it earlier, sat with my eyes closed, lights off, fucking headphones on, banging. Now, the problem with that first album, Warping. Now, as most of you may or may not know, most record players have got like a suspension built in and can handle quite a lot of warping because records warp, piece of piss. It was how they went, by the way. So, look at you lot, you fucking kill me. So, what was happening with the record player that's going back that I was keeping, because the warp was so bad, the warp on the way down was catching the bottom of the tip of the actual unit, and that was causing more problems. It was catching the unit. It was, you know, knocking. It was just a clusterfuck. So I'm undecided whether to retain the album or not. I mean, to be honest, I fucking should do. I should pack the album up, send it back, and have a replacement sent, to be fair. But I can't understand, to be honest. Well, I know how it is. I can't understand a brand new album in cellophane, packed up. The first album is so warped, it's not even funny. It's just bad storage. Just fucking bad storage on and Amazon will have had it somewhere where it was warm. Fucking stupid. Stupid fucks. So I'm not sure if I'm retaining that album because I just cannot be fucked today. Everything's been going wrong today. So anywho, TV woes and YouTube. I said last night, I rang LG. LG have confirmed straight away, apologise. The UJ models, which you have, and the UV models, which is this year's model, it is, mate. It's cheap shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's fucking cheap. I just wanted it to play records, and to be fair, this one here that my daughter's having plays them really good, plays them fine. It's just that the speakers are really shitty, and that's another story. It'll do my daughter fine. I bet you any money I end up sending the third and back and getting one of them again. But anyway, by the by. TV, as I just said, rang LG straight away. Yes, and I tell you what, I don't know if I mentioned this last night, but they were so apologetic. Really great customer service. Like, you know, they basically was coming on the phone to tell me we are fully aware of it. Technicians are on top of it. It's going to be fixed in firmware today, apparently, the 18th today. And I just went, yeah, okay. And there was apologetic beyond. Sincerely apologise that your LG product is not working. And I thought, right, okay, calm down. No problem, you're fixing it. I'm happy. So, today I turned the auto update on the firmware off so I knew it was going to pop. It's not popped all day. So about 6 o'clock tonight, now I'd uninstalled the YouTube app and got rid of it. Just left it off the store until I saw the firmware update, and then I was going to install it. But 6 o'clock tonight, I've gone into my firmware, checked for updates, fuck all there. So they've not updated it yet. So I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'll install YouTube, which would have been the 4th or 5th one I've done of the install-uninstall of the saga. So I've installed it, just clicked it for the sheer fuck of it, and would you fucking credit it, it started. It worked. Same YouTube version, no update. Same fucking TV firmware, no update. I uninstalled and factory reset this TV at least 7 times that day to fix it. Never fixed it. Now, I don't know whether having the app off the system for 2 days or so has cleared it, cleared the cache or whatever automatically and got rid of the underlying problem. I don't know. But I will be very interested if a firmware arrives today or in the next day or so. But it worked. I've sat watching the fucker. It's not user error, believe me. You can bollocks on that one. I was pulling my fucking hair out for about 3 hours. So, yeah. Anyway, latecomers into the room. Plan this evening, guys. I've got to say, Para, you know yourself, you've got an LG. The apps are shit. I mean, I don't know. Let me take that back. The apps crash more times on smart TVs than anything I've ever seen. I told you guys that my YouTube app used to crash every fart's end on the Hisense. But at least that fixed with just an on-off and it was back to normal. But my Netflix app, touch wood, that's been fine on both systems. But I forgot. Oh yeah, the plan this evening, because the room's filling up. I'm not going to sit here and chat. What the plan is, one of the Cranky Gamers is been out and bought VR. He's bought Farpoint, the gun. He's setting it up. He's going to wait for the kids to go to bed. He's having a play with it. And about 40 minutes or so, I'm planning to jump into co-op, and I'll try and stream some co-op if it lets us. So that is the plan. So we're chatting till I get a message from him to say that he's ready. Now, when he's ready, obviously, give us about 15 minutes to get in, get acquainted, get sorted, and then get the stream going if possible. So that's the plan. By the way, when YouTube started and I could catch up with my shit, tell me you have all seen the latest trailer. Now, you're probably not going to enjoy this, but I'm a big Tom Cruise fan. The latest trailer, actually it was titled Latest and Last Trailer for The Mummy. I have to say, absolutely fucking amazing. And you do know who the evil woman is in that, don't you? It's the woman that played Jayla in Star Trek that I had a thing for that was a bit of a joke on the show last year. It's the same woman. If you haven't seen that trailer, jump onto YouTube. Do you know what, Craig? I actually don't like Top Gun. Well, let me rephrase that. I liked it in the day because it was our era and it was kind of a bit of a chick flick kind of time. You know what I mean? But that Mummy film, fucking hell, does it look good. Looks fantastic. I'll tell you what it reminded me of. Really actiony trailer, brand new shit going off everywhere. Tom Cruise, I tell you what, he looks fucking well for his age. It reminded me of like his Mission Impossible films. You know, all the action and crazy shit he does in there. The action in the Mummy film, it was like crazy. He like has a crash in an ambulance and gets chucked out the fucking window. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it, have a look. It's out on June the 9th. I may go to the cinema for that one. Gotta say, I'm quite looking forward to it. So yeah, The Mummy. Also watched an extended trailer of Pirates of the Caribbean in 4K. I've got to say, I quite like the look of that, if I'm not going to lie. It's the last one, sadly. I don't mind Pirates of the Caribbean. I think Johnny Depp in it is fucking... I think it's been a character that he's just fantastic at. And I think he takes the character to art. Did you see the story where he heard a story about a young kid in hospital that was really ill, of cancer it might have been, and he'd heard on the grapevine. I think he said he read it on the internet. This is how the guy was. I think he'd read this story somewhere, and this young kid was got cancer and really ill, but it was a massive Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Loved it, apparently. Got fucking books and used to watch it and everything. And Old fucking Johnny Depp does no more. Nips down to his film studio, gets all his fucking gear on, gets the makeup on, walks into the hospital and sits with this fucking kid. Brilliant. The kid's face, I'm not joking. I was nearly in tears, I was. Brilliant. What TV series at the moment? I'm fucking angry, actually. I've given up reading Prime Suspect 1973 book because my plan was to read the Prime Suspect 73 book before I watched the fucking series. So I've gone and watched start of my Prime Suspect 1973 because I've done it. And holy fucking shit, if episode 3's not missing. So I've got episode 1, I've got episode 2, which I've watched. It then goes, no, sorry. Tell a lie, episode 3 and episode 4's missing. I've got episode 5 and I've got episode 6. Fuck knows how. But as it turns out, episode 3 is on this Wednesday. It's being re-shown on ITV Encore. So episode 4 is going to be the week after. But what fucking annoys me, in catch-up, they've got episode 1 in catch-up, episode 2 in catch-up, and none of the others. So I'm starting watching Prime Suspect. It's been quite good, actually. It's not bad. As for normal telly, keep watching Too Much Crime Channel. It is becoming a fucking ridiculous obsession, I've got to say. A crazy obsession that I need to stop. Because it's on, like, when I get my breakfast in the morning, it's just on at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I just sit... And there's some horrendous fucking shit on there. I saw a story yesterday, and this actually made me... I actually consciously said to myself, I need to stop watching this shit in the daytime. Because I'd had some toast, it was like 10 o'clock, I was drinking my coffee, I was watching this crime channel, and I'm not joking, this fucking bloke, who was some crazy lunatic, in England it was, mate, Craig, that's my point, listen to this fucker. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and these stories last an hour, and you get so involved in them. And this bloke, who was a right bastard, used to beat his missus up. She'd got 3 kids that she adored. She finally plucked the courage up to leave him and say, look, I've had enough of this. I'm sick of being beaten to fuck. So she leaves him, but the court gives him access. So the court gives him access. He does no more than says there's a train set in the fucking attic, puts the 3 kids in the attic to play with the train set. One's 5, one's 7, and one's 9. He locks the fucking hatch, goes downstairs, sets the fucking house on fire. Sets the fucking house on fire, kills all 3 of them. And, by the way, killed him fucking self as well, the cowardly shit. And it just depressed me for the rest of the fucking day. Really did upset me. And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, you've got to stop watching this shit. You still working through Sword? Do you know what, mate? I'm not. I'll tell you what it was. I don't know if it was you that put me on to Sword in the Scale. When somebody put me onto it, I listened to one of them, or maybe 2, and they was on a break. They was having a hiatus, like a couple of months off, apparently. Well, I didn't listen to it anymore. I didn't get the back catalogue, and I've just not picked it up again. 'Cause I know they're back now. But, yeah, I mean, it fucking depressed me knowing that story did yesterday morning. Jesus Christ. I'm planning a murder. Fucking hell, I could murder somebody. No fucking problems with that. No problems with that one. They're not, mate, and it's... I mean, I like watch them all. I mean, yeah, I mean, I just find... I mean, don't get me wrong, I watch every single fucking one, and I think I mentioned this when I was on the podcast. The thing how this channel works, it's on every, a different program every hour, and the way it works, I've been sat here many times and said to myself, right, I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, or I've got to watch this, or whatever. But then the hour comes and the next program starts. Within 5 minutes of it starting, you want to watch the rest because you want to know what's fucking happened. Because they all start with somebody getting slashed, burnt, murdered or whatever, and now they're going to track them down. So it's like an intriguing thing. If anybody's interested, it's channel 533. That's the channel. There's some brilliant stuff on it. On Sky, 533. Right, Rodney. Oh, you're still on your printer. Spent solid 3 days researching 3D printers. Still can't make my mind up. I know that you're on a low budget, mate. Listen to me. I'm glad you're on here. You know, I said I'd sell you my little Fab Mini because you said your budget's small and you want to have a... You're doing it for just to get into it, okay? If you want, come to my... Because I said you... I think you said, yeah, I've told him Prusa Parabra is on a real tight budget, mate. So I've told him Prusa Mark II, my dream printer that I'll never get. If you want to pop up, Rodney, because I think you said you'll pop up. Pop up. I'll let you take this Fab Mini. Take it. The box is downstairs. I'll give you the box. Don't forget I've put my own LCD screen on, so it's way better. I'll let you take it. I'll let you fuck about, play about with it. If you like it, if you want it, give me 60 quid for it. If you don't, bring it back. I'll do that for you. Can't say no fairer than that. At least it'll get you into the printer. It's only a tiny Fab Mini, but what it'll do... Rodney, I'm telling you now, mate, if you can afford up to 320, I would argue to the hills my Da Vinci Junior. Every fucking day. You've only got to see my prints. There's no pissing about with heated beds, no pissing about with ABS, and I class that as a step up. It's a step up. When you're starting to go to heated beds like the Prusa Mark II, I honestly believe, I don't know if Para agrees with me because he's got one, it's kind of it's a learning curve, and I would honestly say that a Da Vinci Junior, with it being encased, with it being enclosed, with it having auto bed leveling, you don't have to fuck about with heated beds, you don't have to piss about with ABS plastic, you can literally just, you see, I'm going to tell you something now, Rodney, and again, I don't know if Para will agree with me here, he's cleverer than I am, but I'm into my 3D printer for quite some time, as you know. I'm going to tell you something now. When you start in 3D printing, in my opinion, you need something really simple that you're not going to have the hassle of fucking about, bed leveling, settings, fucking this, that and the other. And this is why I'm saying to you, that budget you're on, get yourself a Da Vinci Junior. And I think at that price you can get one, the wireless model, which is even better. And then you don't even have to be tethered with a cable. Because it's so simple. It's out the box. You're printing an object off an SD card in 20 minutes. No fucking about. And what I'm saying is it'll get you into, maybe if you're on the designing side of it, you can design it. Right, well, the thing is then, if you want to, when you say you want to mess about with the settings, on what scale are you talking? Do you want to get into the mechanics of the machine? Or do you want to piss about designing models for yourself and building them and printing them yourself? Because they're two different things. The Da Vinci Junior space is 5.9 by 5.9 by 5.9. And I'm telling you now, I've got an R2-D2 model in that cabinet where I'm pointing, and it is 13 inches high. It's fucking at least 12 inches wide. I printed that on the Da Vinci. I've got a Star Wars rifle that you've all seen, printed on the Da Vinci. That Sonic thing, well, half printed on mine, because Para did that fuck half of it. I've got an Iron Man mask up there I could show you. I mean, I could get my prints out for you now and show you the stuff my printer's done. And this is why I'm saying, as a beginner, I think it's ideal. I really do. Yeah, I'm in inches. I'm old. Fuck that millimetre malarkey. But yeah, 5.9 by 5.9. It's a really decent build plate. And I'm going to tell you something about the Da Vinci that and I know that Para will back me up here. Right, but let me ask you something then. This ANET A8, is it one of them open planned one like a Prusa? Because if it's one of them, then you're going to get the things I'm talking about. Bed levelling, all the shit, messing about, pissing about. You see? Mine, I get a model, I put it in, I press go, it fucking comes in, I shut the lid and we're done. I load the filament through the thing. What you do, I'll tell you what I do. I get the file on my MacBook. I walk into the kitchen, plug the cable in, switch my printer on, click go, feed filament. It feeds it up. I push it through. It heats it up. It drops a bit out. I pull it off. I turn back round. I go up my printer, double click the file, goes into my thing. I adjust it on the bed where I want it to print, whether I want to rotate it. When it's on the bed, I click go. 5 seconds, it's over to the printer. Soon as the printer starts up moving, I take the cable out, shut the MacBook, fuck off in here, and shut the door. Job done. And I'm going to tell you now, and I've been printing for 18 months, I can count on 2 hands failed prints. And I'm telling you now, anybody that's a 3D printer will tell you now, if I've had a printer nearly 2 years and only had less than 10 failed prints, it's a fucking miracle. And I'm going to tell you the other problem. And I know Para will back me up on this because I know that he has had this problem. Adhesion to the bed. There are 2 main things that 3D printers have a ball ache problem with. Adhesion to the bed, bed leveling. Okay? Bed leveling on the DaVinci, I've already said it's auto bed leveling, taken away from you. Job done. I have never had a print lift off my bed in 2 years. Ever. And I know for a fact if Para sits here now and tells you he's probably had about 5 in the last month. And that's not having a go at that printer, because I'd swap his printer for mine any day of the week. In fact, I'd swap his printer for anything in this flat probably. But what I'm saying is, I can't describe to you how great it is for a beginner. Just no pissing about. Then you concentrate on the design side. But if you say like you, if you're interested in bed leveling and looking at all the bits and bobs, I also as well. Right, so if you're technical on that side, you sound like that's for you. That's great. But I also, I don't know if Para agrees also, I've always heard a lot of stuff. You know, when you've got an open 3D printer, that's when you get adhesion problems. So, I mean, Para's a really technical engineer. He's a right clever sod. Way cleverer than probably anybody in this room. But he goes on the real technical side. I'm just simple. I just want the fucking thing to print, and it does. It's kind of that way. It does what it says on the tin. It prints. You see, I'm more on the side of getting a nice model, sanding it down, painting it. You've seen the paint jobs I've done, and they're really good. They're really cool. And that's the side I like about it. When I'm having problems with the fucking leveling or bed leveling or that kind of stuff, that does my head in. And I'm constantly reading on 3D forums people struggling with adhesion, and they're using Pritt sticks and they're using fucking glue and all this. My printer comes with sheets about the size of the bed, 5'9", 5'9". They peel off a sticky back, you stick them on. One of them lasts about 2 months. The £8 for 10 off eBuyer. Jobs are good 'un. And that, the prints on there stick to the fucking stick to that bed like shit to a blanket. Yeah, your ATST was a brilliant model. Brilliant. No, I've never heard of the Delta printers. Do you know, listen, I want to say something now, Rodney. Simple thing, mate, and I'll tell you this now. If you want a printer now to get into 3D printing, go with a DaVinci. If you want to get serious about it, save up and get a Prusa Mark II. And I think that's the best advice I could give you. Simple. If you want to get into it right now, chuck the money at a DaVinci printer. You'll be into it. You'll be getting all into the tech side of it and printing and software and shit. It has its own software. That's maybe a downside that you might not like. You can't use all these splicers that all the 3D printers talk about because they're open source. This isn't, because it's locked down to their stuff. But what I'm saying is, if you want to print now and get into it, buy a DaVinci. If you're serious about it, I honestly would save up and get a Prusa Mark II. And if you're really on the engineering side and enjoy it, they're about $650 for the kit, where you build it yourself. That's entertaining. Parabor is that way and he enjoyed building it. Or if, like me, I'd get a Prusa Mark II already built from the factory. Sadly, they're 850 quid. No, don't touch them. Don't touch them, Rodney. Don't touch the ones that's on... Oh, do you mean it's like hanging down like that? There's 3 like pyramids hanging down. Do not touch them. Whatever you do. The shit. Yeah, the Prusa is the Rolls Royce of 3D printers. I would sell my soul to the devil for one. Yeah, they look cool. I've seen the PVA builds. When you do PVA builds and then they just drop the model in water and all the supports just fall off. That's fucking brilliant. So like we're saying, the Prusa Mark II is like the best printer you'll get. And unless you want to just jump into the market, I would save up and get one of them. That's the best advice I can give you. They're just quite simply the best. And the support I'll tell you now, the support from them is second to none. They are the best company to deal with ever. I keep talking about one and I'd fucking die for one, I would. I really would. They're amazing pieces of kit. I hear the Delta gives better prints due to less moving parts. The thing is about the Delta ones, if that's what we're talking about, the hanging downs, they don't last very long. And they're very susceptible to them arms breaking because they're not on proper stepper motors and all that shit. They first started on Kickstarter, them kind of printers did. Like for 100 and 150 quid and they were shit. Let me see if we're going to get, if we're getting, we're not ready yet, so don't worry. Lego Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 minifigures. Have they made them? Cool. Unbox Therapy's got a new YouTube video. When I tune the Prusa, the print quality is better than the 50,000 printers at work. Yeah. You're a clever bloke though, Para. Let's not beat about the bush here. You know what you're fucking doing at the top end. I mean, when you was printing them too, I wasn't too sure about the Prusa i3. Rodney, seriously mate, the Prusa i3 Mark II is the best 3D printer out today for the money. Period. No, David, I didn't finish Human Fall Flat. The last stream is on the channel. Go and watch it. It was so fucking infuriating. I wanted to murder somebody. And it was a shame they made the level that we did get stuck on as hard as it was. He's got a Prusa Mark II. What you want to do, Rodney, is go to the website. Go to Prusa. I think it might be Prusa.com. I'm not sure, but you've only got typed into Google. Go and have a look. It's an amazing printer. In fact, I'll tell you what to watch. I'll give you a good tip if you like watching, if you don't mind watching YouTube sat in bed. There's a guy in Sweden. There's a guy in Sweden who actually built it live on his channel. His video is 11 hours long, and I've sat and watched that. Now, go and watch that, because what he does, it is out your price range, but like I'm saying to you, if you are serious about the hobby, that's where you want to go. Hang 5 and try and get one. If you go and watch that guy's video on YouTube, Prusa actually sent him a kit form and a built one. And what's cool about that video, I mean, I skipped through it. I didn't watch all the 11 hours. What he actually does on the channel, he builds the kit live, but while he's building the kit live, he unboxes the one that's built and actually starts to print something with it. So what's really cool about that video, you see him not only building the build yourself one, but he also prints with the built one. And it's a really good video. Highly recommended to watch it. Christian, and I know it's Benji in it. What did I think of the Destiny 2 reveal? I've only clicked it in YouTube with no sound because I'd got my headphones on listening to Elvis, and I clicked it and I then switched it off and I'll watch it later. I did tweet this morning though, everybody's getting the dicks out about Destiny reveal tonight at 6 o'clock. And I said, I don't understand why, because it's Destiny. What are you expecting? And I will say, the 30 seconds or so of gameplay literally confirmed my tweet 100%. I saw the fucking ships coming down, exploding, things coming out of them, and a gang of 3 people shooting them, and I thought, okay. And I've only watched that 30-odd seconds, and I'll watch the rest later, but I will say this quite fucking simply. That trailer could have shown to me and actually could have been Destiny 1 for me, but I've not aired it. I don't know what they're talking about, so I don't know anything. So I'll not know until tomorrow when I watch it tonight. Destiny 2 Battle.net exclusive on PC. Anyway, lads, thanks for the help, but I'm off to bed night. Alright, Rodney. As I say, mate, if you want to print now, get that. If you had save up for the Prusa, go and watch that video. It's really interesting, even if you're not thinking of getting one. Why did it leave you cold? I've only watched 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and exactly what I said. If I'd have shown you that 30 seconds, with them pods coming and jumping out, and that squad, bang, 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 and then said to you, what do you think this is, guys? Not one, bearing in mind you didn't know all the shit, not one person would have said Destiny 2. But like my tweet this morning, and I did it at 9 o'clock, so it was way before, what was people expecting? What was, the only thing that's going to be different is the fucking story. Right, we could be changing, could be swapping this room. I'm going to drop this room in a minute. I'm just messaging Luke. 1 second, guys. Right, I've just dropped you a message. So it is, mate. It's just exactly. Make sure next week podcast doesn't become Destiny 2 special. I think I'm the only one who doesn't give a shit. You're not the only one. Believe me, you're not the only one. Just bought Gears of 4 for my PC and it's 128 gig fucking install. Mate, I hope you're a big fan of it because I thought it was poor. Absolutely poor. About Destiny, guys, I've always said on the show, whether you fucking agreed with me or not, and it's simple as, and I'll stand by this. As a single-player game, when I played it to finish, it was a fucking fantastic game, and I'll still stand by it. It was a great story. It was a great gameplay. It was the first shooter online that I actually felt I could take part in. And I don't mean the deathmatch, that side of the shit, because I thought that was still shit. But the actual gameplay story mode where you had to get squads and get help, I thought that was fantastic from start to finish. I still couldn't get my head round, and we all know, it's like, we all know Stephen Hayden are massive fans of it, but I just never could get my head round how you could constantly play the same thing again and again and again and again. And again, move into Destiny 2, it's more of the same shit with a different story. Why is Gears 428 fucking gig on the PC? Right then, boys. I am going to party up with Luke. So I'm going to drop this room. I'm going to have a chat with Luke. Keep an eye out for another stream. and we'll pop back in VR maybe in probably 10-15 minutes. We're going to have a chat, see where he's at, what we're doing, but hopefully we'll do about some co-op gameplay in Farpoint. The thing is though, if it doesn't work or we don't get it going, I'll just make another room for a bit of a chat for another half hour, 40 minutes if anybody's interested. But keep an eye out for another room, and it should be some Farpoint play. So hopefully back on another stream.